So where do you like, okay, you've got a business that's so big. Where do you start to look for improvement? So, because I read through the 2 second lean book. I'm sure you've seen it or read it. And they talk about you have to get your whole team thinking about improvements, whether small or large, and writing them down and meeting on them and like recording them to acknowledge accomplishments and this and that. But even like bigger than that, right? There's all of this. Are managers surfacing these ideas to your team, and then you guys go and sort what kind of improvements, or where do you start?
Well, you start with people like you guys, like Steven, that you have a business, it's not perfect, you got problems, but you're just so busy you don't have time to tackle them on your own, right? That's Eric. He's down on the production floor doing the work, but there's some issues, and so that's where a lot of these ideas come from. They come from the managers, they come from the executives, but they also come from people on the floor that say, "Hey, I know this is inefficient. How could I do it better?" And they just don't have the structured methodology to try to solve the problem or the time. So, it's a combination of different approaches that allow us to see, some improvements, identify problems, and
But how do you get the team thinking about that? Like, and maybe Farragut in your shop too. Like, how do you, say, hey guys, instead of just doing what you're doing every day, like, observe to be curious about this stuff that's happening.
Well, I'll just like be vulnerable for a second. We're starting to talk to Kevin. We're trying to figure out, and we're too busy right now. And we literally, like, that same thing happened. We got really busy. And, while we had downtime, we started thinking about it, and we're all like, okay, like, we all want to do this. And we started, and then shit hit the fan, and then we put off doing it. And now it's like, we're going to do it in the summer. We're doing it. But I think what I struggled with is trying to get the right, because, like, there's a level of aptitude and intelligence necessary to at least put the framework in for it. And my biggest concern is like employee adoption, not from a management standpoint, but like getting 3 or 4 people that really want to like put their arms around it, right? Like that. How do you in a small business, now in a big business with mechanical engineers and bachelor degrees and like, maybe probably a little bit different of like academic acumen for this stuff. How do you instill that in maybe a smaller business where it's more like skilled labor and not necessarily the like strategic mathematical thinkers? Like,
yeah, that's a really good question, Stephen. And I think us back to where Lean started. Lean started in the Toyota production system. That's what they called it. It was never called Lean, and it started at the factory floor by the people who were putting together cars. And the intent was that the entire workforce looks every job that they do, and they try to make small incremental improvements. So you have to make it a business strategy. You have to get everybody on board to go, we're going to do this. And the benefits are going to be you're going to work easier, you're going to work more efficient, the company's going to do better, we're going to make more money by increasing revenue or decreasing costs. And you start to have these communications. You just can't go, okay, we're going to solve problems. You have to get a team approach. And the team is the people that work every day on their jobs, and you get them to see, I can do this a little bit easier. And that's how you get the buy-in, because you have to have that buy-in.
Is there like tactical things too? Like, are there weekly, because I remember when we implemented the traction method of the scorecard and stuff, it probably took a couple months of just like talking about the numbers again and again and again until people started to come to the meeting prepared with things to improve their department numbers. Is that sort of similar where, hey guys, all right, 10 minutes. Any ideas of things that you want to be able to improve that we can think about? Okay, probably nothing the first meeting, probably nothing the second meeting, but still bring it up, or like posters, or yeah, that stuff.
There has to be like a circus leader, right?
Yeah, there's got to be a cheerleader. Somebody's got to, lead the effort, and you're going to also find the opposite is there too. Well, I don't know how to best say this. We call them cave dwellers, people that don't want to come out of the cave at all. Say you'll never improve things, and you have to start to just kind of win them over by showing them, here's what we can do, and you have to start with data in a way. You can't improve a process if you can't measure it, right? So you got to be able to track performance. You have to have a baseline and then make some changes and go, okay, yeah, I see with data that our setup time is down. We're more efficient. Downtime overall on a screen printing press is down. Well, what did we do? And make those just small incremental improvements, and everybody starts to see it and they feel it and go, yeah, let me keep doing this.